Or we could do that for, we could have a referendum in November, and it would take place in November of 2025.
I think that we should consider pausing this progress until we figure out what we're going to be hiring in town. We don't have that individual yet selected, or know that we have someone that can accommodate what West Bath needs. So I think we're putting the cart before the horse here. Even having this conversation, because we may not find someone.
The reason why I brought it up tonight is because time goes really fast, and I want you to be really aware that if you want it to take effect this year rather than November of next year, then you're going to need to hold a special town meeting by August 7th. So I want you to have that date in your mind so that we can keep bringing it up as things progress.
I'm not convinced we're going to have someone sitting with us by August 7th to even make that determination path forward. When we just went out with an RFP for that.
We didn't go out for an RFP for the permanent position. This was a 6-month position that the RFP was for. And the question was, really, the question is, does the board, this select board, or any other select board in the future have the specified knowledge that is now required to act as the Board of Assessors? So what's being discussed is whether or not the assessing part of town government would be changed from being done by the select board acting as the Board of Assessors, or if the assessor is going to be a person who speaks with their own authority as opposed to assessing agent. That's a different discussion about who is going to do that.
But we're not, we haven't found the individual to even put that trust in yet. And I think for us to have this conversation on whether we want to move to a seated assessor, you know, in the past when we had Ron giving us recommendations, I felt it worked well with us following that conversation and having us maintain our responsibilities. I think it's a bit premature for us to make this decision today.
I don't think it is, because I think what we've been saying all along up here is we do not have the knowledge as assessors, and we want to give that responsibility away. We need the town's permission to do that, so we can't even move forward without this permission. We're kind of stuck.
And
So that could take us another year, 2 years, 3 years.
because it's a change in government, we need to have thorough input from the public, we need to have information.
And this isn't about making a decision tonight.
Right.
This
No,
is
this
about
is
putting
about-
a date in your head
If we're
so
going
that
to do
you're
this.
not disappointed when it can't happen this year.
Right.
But it says a special town meeting. We've had how many special town meetings? It's an easy accommodation to, if we cross that
It is
bridge.
an accommodation. This is about the date that you need to do it by.
That's all.
A special
That's all.
town meeting 90 days prior to the annual town meeting in November. So if it's not done by August 7th, then the
We gotta
soonest
wait
it
another
would go
year.
into effect would be
November
November
2025.
2025.
It has, so,
But we're asking to put that authority into someone's position that we haven't met yet.
And at a previous meeting, you said that
that's what
you were after.
That's what we
But we need
talked
permission
about.
to do that, and we're not going to, it's going to take years maybe to trust this
It may.
individual that we get. So we're going to be, no matter who we get, it's going to take time to build that trust.
The seated assessor,
So
as per the discussion that we had earlier, the seated assessor would be a person who was a certified named assessor, who would be selected in the process that we select anybody with a contract, with an RFP person, and with this person, it would be a contracted position, 6 months, a year, you don't have to decide. The discussion that we had that brought this whole question up was whether or not, going forward, the complexities of assessing can be handled by somebody who has not had all of the training that is required of a certified Maine assessor. In the past, when the town was small, the select board went to trainings about how to be assessors.
Well, it just says, if it votes and passes, it'll take effect November of '24, which is months from now.
No, we'll have permission to move forward. It doesn't mean it will take effect. I mean, it could, but it doesn't mean it will. If we don't do this, it means we'll have to wait till November of 2025.
Right.
So we can have the town pass this, and we may not find anybody.
It should not be forcibly implemented, it's certainly, because we're not even remotely close to that yet.
We're not implementing
Suzanne,
anything,
it's-
we're
no,
putting a date here.
Right, and you're the one who asked.
No, I think we should have the assessor when we're ready for them.
I think we should plan on having this meeting by August 7th, special town meeting, so that we can get this on the.
I think having a hearing about it, having people have the opportunity to vote,
Yeah.
then we at least know whether or not the town is in agreement that we change our form of government.
The town may say no.
I'm okay with that.
They could do that.
Let's put it out there for the people to talk about.
Because that's exactly what it is, it's changing our form of government, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So people need to be,
And I think they need to understand and hear what we're even proposing.
Right.
I think you should set a date in July
yeah, I think so
for a
too.
special town meeting.
Yes, I think so too.
So if we do this, my other thought is, I think we can say what we want to say, but I think we need someone with a lot more knowledge than us to speak at this.
Maybe
too.
we get Steve Sullivan
I
to
think
do that.
whoever our legal counsel
Or
is.
the new attorney.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Sullivan is very knowledgeable, but
Do you think we'll?
very limited in what he's willing to say.
Yeah.
And I
Do you
would be
think we'll have an
cautious.
attorney by then?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got 3 right here, we just need to pick one.
I just think so that the public can be aware of the legalities of what we're trying to do and not feel like, I'll tell you, if I was sitting out there, I'd feel like, oh yeah, they really screwed up the rebound, so now they just want to jump ship.
Well, and I want to be conscious of that on what our residents feel have happened also.
The discussion and the decision is up to the townspeople.
Right.
What we get to do is decide whether or not we're going to give them the opportunity, and I don't think we have the business of saying, no, they can't have the opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
July town meeting, a special meeting, you're thinking?
It's sooner kind of than later, because you're gonna get busy, commitments coming up, a lot of things coming up, so.
right, when we have August, let's get through some.
I would shoot for a date of Tuesday, July 16th. Maybe that's a target date, not an exact date, but a target date.
That works for me.
And then, as we get these proposals, I'm just wondering, well, whoever we choose, we're gonna have to make sure that they're aware that this is gonna be part of their.
Possibility, thank you. If we have a 6 months contract, then that would be, they would have the option, if they choose,
Right,
to apply for the
also, make sure
position.
we could speak at this special town meeting.
And I was
what we're trying
actually
to do.
discussing that with one of the assessor's agents who responded, who saw the RFP and is going to submit a proposal. He wanted to know the reason for the 6 months.
Okay.
And I explained that to him, that it could be an opportunity to continue on if we move to a seated assessor, and I just left it at that.
Yeah,
That was enough information for him to kind of understand the direction that we might be.
And are they still responding?
Yes. Yes, he was very interested. He actually said he was gonna submit his RFP by next week, because he's that interested in it.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I would so love to get this behind us.
Yes. And we have, do you need any more information from us?
No, I just wanted to make sure that everybody really
Yeah,
heard that.
and can we have the warrant for the special town meeting next week on the 6th?
Maybe wait until after the election.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got like 5 meetings in June.
Okay, all right.
I think we could wait.
Before Carly leaves?
4.
Are we gonna have a special town meeting about coming?
I'll come and vote.
Thank you.
And maybe she'll be stronger with her.
Ooh, maybe I can be moderator. Town moderator.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Is that okay?
And we have the updated information about the applications for abatements.
So what was the legal position?
Mark said that the clock starts ticking when they actually receive a denial. So any of these folks can still appeal to the Board of Assessment Review. Whatever was heard at the meeting was misconstrued.
So our job is to actually officially deny.
No, I think we needed to talk with them. Let me say something, I went to that meeting, and I was appalled at how Parker Appraisal showed up at that review. They showed up and handed out the paperwork at the meeting, prior to letting any of the parties review it. So their participation and intent to resolve this is abysmal. And so for us to say, oh, we're just gonna go and deny all these, I think is inappropriate when I watched what went down at that meeting, and it was not, I would encourage you both to watch the video on that, and watch how Parker Appraisal showed up and their participation. It was not impressive. So the purpose of just denying these, I don't think is the appropriate response to our community.
So if we never deny them, what's the process?
There has to be some kind of
We have to resolve it.
formal denial at this point, because all of these people have agreed to unlimited extension.
We don't have to deny it, we have to resolve it. We could,
I mean, to go to the Board of Assessment Review,
Right.
we would need a formal denial.
Right.
but we, at this point, we need to, I actually, before we even, I would encourage you to watch the review, the assessment review, and watch Parker's input and what they provided. And I wonder why they wouldn't have given that to us in the first place. When you see what, and then the information they provided was not even sufficient, and the abatement was granted 100% in favor of the requester. So please watch that, and then let's talk about discussing these down the road.
I think we don't need to decide tonight what we're gonna do with these. You're gonna have an attorney soon. You definitely need legal counsel. Don't move forward without legal counsel, because we are so far from what state law tells us that we should have been doing, that you're gonna need to talk to somebody who really knows what needs to happen next,
Okay.
and base your decisions on that. And if you have the attorney and you also have the interim assessing agent in place, then you'll have the resources that would really be helpful to you to know how to move forward. And these people have been so patient.
They have.
And most of them are willing to just wait, you know, knowing that we're a ways from commitment.
Has that been even posted? It has, right?
Please wait and get appropriate counsel.
But I would encourage you in the meantime to watch that meeting. Carly just said it was posted.
Correspondence? We have a letter from the lake, what? Did I miss something?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
does someone have an agenda in front of them? We really
I do.
need to follow it.
Or assessment
Last
review.
week's meeting was
Oh,
all over the place, so I would encourage
Yeah.
someone to follow the
oh,
agenda. So Board of Assessment Review ordinance amendment is next.
okay.
Do we have that?
No, there's no amendment, but my understanding was from the Board of Assessment Review meeting that Mark Fowler made a statement that our ordinance needed review.
Okay,
So I would just like permission to get in touch with them
yes, please.
and move forward with the amendments that he was suggesting.
Yes, please.
I don't know what the amendments are.
Aren't we, isn't our new attorney gonna be doing that?
Well, I'm just saying Mark because he's the one who recognized it and suggested that
Right.
amendments were necessary. And I would assume that the board is going to have him continue to represent the Board of Assessment Review. I don't know that. I was just assuming that he would continue.
That would be my preference until this particular, this particular tax year is done.
Which is in a week, a month, a week.
Do you
So,
have anything else on that, Carly?
Well, just that, I don't know that it's necessarily the ordinance as it is the policy of the board. It's just very generic and it doesn't get specific as far as, for example, the item was continued to another meeting, and he just thought it needed to be tightened up as far as deadlines and timelines go.
okay. So, please,
Okay.
have a talk with him, see what we need to do to make that more workable. Future agenda items, shall we do that before we deal with the correspondence?
Yeah, I just, that you have the legal proposals in front of you. I was planning on putting that on your June 6th agenda.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
That'll give you time to review.
Yeah, there, major documents here.
Has there been any other interest from the assessing RFP?
I've spoken with 2 individuals. One committed that he would be sending a proposal. The other one was looking at his schedule to see if he would be able to accommodate. One is from Scarborough, the other is from Herman. So 2 different parts of the state. Haven't heard from anybody else yet.
And our request was, what was that due back?
The 20th.
Still time.
So when we receive them on the 20th, I will open them at 2 o'clock. And then I'll scan everything and send it out so that you have whatever proposals.
Okay, thank you.
And you can review them on the 27th.
June 6th is also when the cheap bids are due,
Mhm.
so we're gonna do that happening.
Yeah. And Julie will also be here on June 6th. She will be first on the agenda because she does have another commitment. Do you still have your paperwork that she gave to you with the
I do.
financial stuff?
Somewhere.
You think?
Sure, I have it.
My phone,
The question is, where is it?
She might bring more with her
it's
anyway.
actually on the floor, the cat is on the coffee. Anything else for future agenda items?
When the road commissioner has any updates on computers or how he's doing with this?
Well, I did talk to Jimmy Crew, and he said that he would be more glad to get us all set up. And he knows the better programs, and
This,
he does that for other towns, so. Good.
So do you have your laptop picked out so that on July 1st you can go get it?
Well, I'm gonna have him pick it out.
Okay.
Better yet.
Smart, very smart. Okay. Oh, sorry, Jane.
On agenda, we talked about a microphone for the town hall.
We have microphones.
Okay, but also we talked about the fire hall, we talked about, David said he was gonna talk to John about it. Let's hope any time we have a meeting here.
I had an informal conversation with John, and he said he thought he could come up with some kind of system for the town, fire station.
I would just suggest that we try to have that in place the next time we have a meeting there.
Well, I'm not sure what his time frame was, but he did make a note of it and said he would check into it.
Okay,
Where are we on the door for the fire hall?
I haven't taken any action on that because it's not the new fiscal year.
You can't pay for it yet.
That was
There's
coming
kind
out
of a
ARPA.
lull, there's a lull between town meeting and,
Hasn't been authorized
Wasn't that authorized through ARPA? The ARPA funds? I thought it was authorized.
for this year,
yes, but
for the
typically we don't take action on what was approved at town meeting until the new fiscal year.
But we have the bid that we're ready to move forward with, we just have to pay for it, or we have,
I don't have a bid drawn up yet.
why don't we go ahead and get that ready since we're 30 days out from payday?
Okay.
Can, we should, if possible, it'd be nice if we could get that done for the special town meeting. I mean, unless we're gonna have that at the school, I was thinking.
That's probably not necessary.
Yeah, we usually have a special set at fire hall.
but get them lawnmower moving on.
Now you're pushing it.
Only try.
It'd be nice if we could have that, at least partially handicapped accessible. Certainly.
Yeah, all of that stuff, the blinds.
Certainly by the, November elections.
Till we get Trump on.
Anything else on the future? Okay, comments and announcements from the board. Public. Public.
I thought, didn't you have correspondence?
Oh, yes, after. It's not on the agenda, I'm lost. Okay, so we have a letter from the Lake Stewards of Maine requesting $500 from the town of West Bath to support the costs of training and community lake scientists who monitor lakes for invasive aquatic species. It sounds to me like a very fine idea, but I think that these nice people should be advised that we give our, we make our donations to nonprofits. We have a process,
yeah.
we have a process for that, and that they should,
Request accordingly.
they should follow our process, and we could inform them of what that process is.
Except our months, we get hit with an invasive species in New Meadows. Then
The state does that, you know, it's on their own.
Yeah, yeah. This, they have volunteer community scientists who collect water quality monitoring data and survey lakes for aquatic invasive species. Does New Meadows qualify as a lake, or is it river?
We only have a Patagonian yet, so what's back really?
Right. And it sounds like a worthy thing, but they missed our deadline.
Procedurally speaking, they need to apply accordingly.
Christine, could you draft a letter in the next week or so, with all the time you have, just to tell them what our process is? and that they would be more than welcome to participate in the process.
Yes, I would be happy to.
Come our next budget year.
This is also Pond.
Does the Lily Pond, because it borders us, does that count as one of ours, or do we have?
We have a few ponds, we got, Meadowbrook Pond,
Yep, Houghton Pond,
Holton Pond.
all of those things. Candles would be probably
Yeah.
pretty vulnerable.
Well, they're, Hope Pond's a great pond, it's 10 acres or more, so you have to figure out what's their qualifications for.
Ponds and lakes.
Yep.
And we have a note here, save the date for the property tax school. Monday, July 29th through August 1st. And I believe we have some funding for that for the select board.
There's funding in place if you're interested in attending one or all days.
So is it a full day? What do you know what the hours are?
It's a full
It is
day.
a full day, it's
Like 8
like
to 4?
a work schedule, yeah.
Yeah,
So if you attend all days, then you can take the CMA then?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but.
You
I
can
wouldn't
sit there for 8 hours and see a exam.
I wouldn't either.
I take all 4, I may wing it, just to see if I could pull it off.
No, you can't, trust me, there's too many courses, there's,
Hey, if it's multiple choice, just never know.
Don't guess. And they'll take the SATs with the seniors after.
Find out what the standard test is, C, D, A, C.
It's ACE.
they don't offer all the courses that you need at the
Like
same
that's
time.
what he's dropping?
That's,
What's the ACE?
it is a,
Too many letters.
it is an
And the
intensive
CIA and
time. And I'm planning to take some of the classes.
I do too. I gotta figure out if I can take a whole week. And have a spend vacation, but
It's worth it, even if we change to a seated assessor. It'll
It's
be,
always good to have the knowledge.
because it's way more complicated than you might think. I sat there the first time going,
Sometimes when you give people a little knowledge, I mean, they know it all.
oh, that would not be any of us, I'm sure. Just the first time around, you just get to know how much you don't know. Anything else? Have we missed anything?
Public comments.
Public, do you have any comments?
I said, you refused the letter, you accepted it though.
Yeah, it's done. It's in my notes now.
is it an 8?
It's going,
But that being the hardest to remove.
going into the minutes.
You know what? Nobody wants to stay in the same job forever. They want to grow and learn.
I think it's a good opportunity for,
I
I
do too.
Absolutely.
think it's a great,
It's extremely missed, but when you've got a chance for growth, it's really important.
Going upstream to the county.
It's also very,
Next off the state.
it's a good thing for the county to have an employee of quality and dedication. And we will all continue to be served by an exemplary public servant.
She may spend 8 years there and want to come back and
Right?
then here.
Maybe by then we'll have
Have my rocking chair ready.
The 10 office staff.
I say you move to adjourn.
I'm gonna say, this meeting is adjourned. By acclamation.
No!
Please. Binders, please.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Did you